Hi, I'm Julie,
Hi, I'm Jenna.
and this is our final tool talk where we will be discussing different tools we can use in the classroom. So, my first tool we're going to be talking about is called Web 2.0 tools. And Web 2.0 tools provides a variety of different tools for students to use both at home and in the classroom. And it teaches them tools that they can use for presentation on their phone, how to use video tools, and how to relate these tools to different links that they've seen before. And I think it's very important because some of the mobile tools that they provide teach them blogging skills, which is very good for their writing and techniques. It's something that they do a lot since a lot of our students are on social media nowadays.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool tool to help them use their creativity to present different projects in different ways. My first tool is Cahoot, which is an online learning game you can create, and you can use it on any device like iPad, a computer, or a tablet. And you can assess the students by creating the assessment and putting it on the board. And then they use mobile devices as like the iPad for their answers. So you will create the assessment, and then the question comes up on the board and it gives you amount of time. And after you give the students the game pin to get into the Kahoot, they all are taking the same exact test on the same screen. And then once they put their answers in on their devices individually, the answers will come up in a bar graph and it will tell you what students, well, it won't tell you what students answered what, but they would tell you how many students answered which. So then the answers will be right there right away. The students know if they got it right or wrong. And then the teacher sees it in a data chart at the end.
I think that's really cool that the students are all doing this at the same time, but I like how you don't necessarily get to see who answers what question in case you are maybe like one of the few students that got it wrong. And then that way the teacher is still finding out, okay, this person is understanding it and this person isn't, without embarrassing the child because he or she got it wrong. So my second tool is called Paper.ly. So it's paper.li. And this tool is a really cool way for students to search and publish different things on the internet. And it provides them with different publishing tools and different ways to collect information that they may need. And it's really easy, which I think is very important for those students who may or may not be very tech savvy. And again, I think it's important since majority of our students are on social media that they know how to use these tools.
Yeah, that's like sounds like a really nice way to organize their information that they're getting so that they can find it in a simple way and then also put it in a simple way so they can remember it easier. And my second tool is called Clickers, and it's used so you can assess students without using technology. So the students don't use the technology, but the teachers uses the mobile device or an iPad. So you create an assessment online, and then you go to the Clicker website, and you can download these cards. They're like different shapes, and each shape has a different answer. So depending on which way you hold the card, either this way or this way, it would tell you the answer is A or B. So then the students put their cards up as their answer, and then the teacher would take their phone and scan the whole class, and it picks up all the cards, and each student will have a different number. So the students don't know whose number is who unless they tell them, and then they will answer the questions, and they won't feel self-conscious about it. And I said that you could use this in a math situation because a lot of students are like scared to come up to the board, so that you have the math problem, and then you have the answer, and the students give you the answers, and then you go and scan the answers, and then they don't have to get up, and they still can show how they got their work example.
I think that's really cool that it's mostly the teacher doing the work so that it's not too much for the students to focus on, okay, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? But it's mostly they're just going around scanning. And again, it's very useful for those students who may or may not be self-conscious about their answers since it's all very private and their identity is through a number. My third tool is called Amaze, and this is a tool that helps students with online presentations, and it's very easy to use. If the student is doing, let's say, a social studies presentation and it's on World War II, all they have to do is search up World War II, and it'll provide them with a bunch of different templates that they can use to help them with their World War II presentation. Way to just kind of show them all the different styles and things that they maybe thought that they didn't need for an online presentation.
That's nice that they give you a template or like ideas of how to design your project, because sometimes those students who don't have a think they are creative won't think of things like the templates would have. My third tool is called ThinkPort, and it's a resource center for teachers online that they can find lesson plans or interactive resources for grades K through 12. And teachers can also use this website because there's a teacher tab that can find information, or parents can use this also because there's a parents tab that can find information that you would need about the teacher or school or anything like that. And once the lesson plans are found, you can find also a whole bunch of resources online that is interactive. So, for example, if you find a lesson about the Chesapeake Bay, the resource that will be provided is called Bayville, where you can actually go and interact with this bay, and the students will learn the lesson that is given and then also have a visual as well.
I think that's a really cool way to keep students interactive, especially if they can't actually get to a place like the Chesapeake Bay, for example. I like how it provides them with all this information, whereas it may be very hard for them to take a field trip and experience it themselves, but they still have the skills and tools to do so. So my final tool is called QR codes, and this tool helps teach the importance of coding for students. And coding is really important because it helps students with their problem-solving skills and developing even independent skills, because it not only helps them figure things out for themselves, but it helps them learn how to create things on their own as well.
That's awesome, because then they can use the QR codes to scan to different websites or information, so then it's more of a game to find the information instead of actually looking at their textbook and having to scroll through the information on the website. And my fourth and final tool is called Rubistar, and it's a website that can create quality rubrics. So you can go and find a template for any content area, and then you click on that template and you can edit it with your own personal information that you would want. And you can, it's easy to fill out because you just click on the spot that you want to change, and then a drop-down menu will appear, and it has different choices that you can choose from. And this would be helpful for teachers because you can reuse these rubrics and you can print them, and then you can save them to your account, and then you don't have to worry about making a rubric every year for the same exact project.
I think that's really cool that teachers can see what other teachers have used, or let's just say if they ever are struggling to create their own rubric for an assignment, they can see what other rubrics teachers have been using to help them kind of guide where they want to go when creating their own rubric. So it's a really cool way to share ideas amongst the other teachers. Well, that concludes our Google Hangouts.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.